Yeah, look, Simone, you and I see eye to eye on this completely. And I'll add a couple of things. You don't seize the ballots in Fulton County just because you want the ballots from 2020, but rather you do it because you are planning for 2026.
Pay attention. White man is speaking cold hard facts. This is why 2026, the midterms are so important. That's why people were like, are we even going to have midterms? Or if we have midterms, they're going to just try to make it so hard for people to cast a vote, right? Let's continue.
You don't subpoena ballot images from Maricopa County from 2020, except that you also want to know how to do that for 2026. A Republican sheriff in California doesn't see 650,000 ballots from a referendum that took place last year, which was a landslide, unless you are trying to figure out how to do it for 2026. Donald Trump doesn't issue an executive order saying that he is going to create a list of who is eligible to vote by mail and send it to the Postal Service and say, you cannot allow any other person to mail their ballots if they're not on my list. You don't do that unless you care about the 2026 election. You don't start to lie about foreign interference unless you are setting the predicates to lie about foreign interference in 2026. So, Simone, I agree with you. And one of the great tragedies of this time is how few people are recognizing that what Donald Trump is doing is not just relitigating history. He is laying the groundwork for the future.
Okay. White man's ice is what? This man laid it out perfectly. This is why the midterms are just, it's make or break. It's life or death politically for a lot of people in this country, as it should be. But let's continue.
Laying the groundwork for the future, and the question, of course, is who is going to be around him. I want you to take a listen to a conversation, an interview that NBC's Laura Jarrett had with acting AG Todd Blanche.
Every single person in this administration, me included, and obviously Attorney General Bondi as well, we serve at the pleasure of the president, and that's true of any administration. And so the president has the right and the duty and the obligation to make sure that he has folks that he wants, and the president may choose somebody besides me to be the Attorney General today. I can't speak to his thinking. I can't speak to what happened the past year. All I can say is that we have a very defined mission that we've been trying to execute and will continue to execute.
If the president of the United States says, go steal me an election, and you serve at the pleasure of the president, what does that then mean for a democracy?
Well, I mean, what it means is that you either have honor and dignity and you resign, or you do what Todd Blanche is saying he would do. I mean, Todd Blanche has been very clear, and it makes him a extraordinarily dangerous liar. You know, you all have interviewed a lot of politicians, and I say this with due respect and affection for many of them. But there's a way politicians lie, and that's the way that Pam Bondi lied. She would say, no, I am not doing the bidding of the president. I would never do a political prosecution. Todd Blanche is a criminal defense lawyer. Whole different mentality. His job is to take inconvenient facts and not deny them, but rather make them seem like they're good facts. Like, yes, of course, my client had a bloody knife in his hand. What innocent person wouldn't have the bloody knife in his hand? And so what he says is, of course we would do what the president says, Alicia. That's a good thing. That's democracy, right? So
Once again, this entire administration, the last 2 years basically has just been people pledging allegiance to Trump and not the oaths they were sworn into office under. And once again, the Constitution, people keep bringing it up. The Constitution has been basically null and void since, I don't know, 9/11, when they established Homeland Security. Like, the Constitution has not been a factor for a very, 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 very long time. Let's continue.
He embraces it as if doing the president's bidding to go after his political opponents, to undermine free and fair elections, as if that is a virtue instead of the totalitarian actions of an authoritarian.
Okay. He broke it down perfectly, better than I could.